Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and we are live. I have attorney Christopher Melcher, who called in because we have some breaking news. Fox News has settled their defamation suit against Dominion for $787 million. We also heard reps from Dominion saying out loud afterwards that, yes, Fox News lied about their reporting of us. That's a pretty big revelation on top of a pretty big number. Christopher, thank you for joining. Let's start with the fact that this was a shock to me. It seemed like Dominion was doing pretty well. There was a lot of discovery that seemed to be embarrassing a lot of the Fox News hosts. Are you surprised to see this settlement from them?
Well, it's a lot of money, and they were seeking basically twice as much of this, so they got half of what they were looking to get. But even if they had gone through the trial and won and was awarded $1.6 billion, Fox certainly would have appealed. It would have gone on for years and years. And so it's a wise move, I think, for both sides to make this deal. I mean, it's a phenomenal, that they got this far, and we can talk about that, all the hurdles that they had to get through to get this far. But I think sitting here today, both sides made a smart decision.
Interesting. Okay, so do you think it was leaning one way or the other? I mean, for me as a viewer, I don't really have a dog in the fight. I don't like any of these media channels. As I said to my fans, like Fox, CNN, MSN, I feel like they're all biased. But it did seem like this discovery was not good for the Fox brand. I understood why they would want to settle this. It seemed like Dominion was definitely proving a lot of stuff. Do you think there was one person in this who had a likelier chance of winning based on what you were seeing so far?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Fox was toast on this case because, number one, Dominion survived all these pretrial fighting that happened. So anytime you're going to sue a large corporation, it's extraordinarily difficult to get to the start of trial because they have lawyers, legions of lawyers that put up every roadblock, which they did, which included withholding key information from Dominion that Fox was severely criticized by the judge for doing. So Fox played every trick that they had. And so Dominion got this far. Dominion also had to overcome the First Amendment objections that Fox was raising because Fox was saying, look, we're a media outlet. Their first defense was we're simply reporting what the president was claiming. And of course, that's newsworthy. Whatever the president says is newsworthy. But the judge didn't buy that and said, look, we're going to let this go to a jury because Fox didn't merely report the claims that President Trump was making about election fraud. Fox News was publishing this information as if it were true. And it's a huge difference between fair reporting of facts or claims versus just proclaiming things are true, in spite of evidence that was revealed that Fox knew that there was no facts to support these claims. So those pretrial rulings were devastating. The writing was on the wall. It was only going to really come out to how much the jury would award, and then how long Dominion wanted to keep fighting this thing on appeal. So yeah, Fox was going to lose. I think that was pretty clear, and lose hard, and have all of its famous anchors and Rupert Murdoch take the stand and be, examined there. Of course, there wasn't any camera in the courtroom. That would have made a huge difference, but still, that testimony would have been highly damaging to them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of damaging stuff that was coming out that didn't help the brand at all. They admitting that they weren't really believing a lot of stuff they were doing, et cetera. But here was the statement from Dominion CEO John Poulos. He told reporters, Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that caused enormous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that. Throughout this process, we have sought accountability. Truthful reporting in the media is essential to our democracy. Now, when getting a settlement and then being able to walk out and saying, Fox admitted they had told lies about us, that's a pretty massive achievement, no?
Yeah, it's remarkable because most settlements of lawsuits involve a non-disclosure, non-disparagement clause, and where they're going to say, hey, no one's going to talk about this settlement, no one's going to bash the other, no one's going to claim victory. That is a common provision in a settlement because you're settling to buy peace of mind and to get behind it. So obviously that was not a feature of this deal that Dominion would agree to, and Dominion must have insisted having the right to say we won and Fox lied, and so because they weren't going to buy silence out of Dominion.
Yeah, it's interesting because I see some people in the chat even saying, yeah, well, this isn't an admission of guilt. Sure, it's a settlement. It's not an admission of guilt, but usually settlements are part of the rules of those settlements is say, you can't say that. You can't say this. We're agreeing. We're giving an amount. The amounts are not allowed. The fact that this is now so quickly becoming public is very telling. Now, here's Fox News did also release a statement. This is from NPR. I hope this is the full statement. We acknowledge the court's rulings, finding certain claims about Dominion to be false. So there they are acknowledging certain claims were false. This settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards. We are hopeful that our decision to resolve this dispute with Dominion amicably instead of the acrimony of divisive trial allows the country to move forward from these issues. As much evidence as we've seen, there's still plenty more that hasn't been made public. Oh, sorry, this is a separate because apparently, so anyway, that was Fox's response. Pretty much admits it and is like, look, we're gonna move on for the sake of moving on for everybody. We have acknowledged, we've made an agreement with them, we've shake hands, let's move on, everybody. Do you think that, it's clearly a better move for them than losing via trial, right, Chris?
Well, sure. They it looked like they were going to lose big, and they'd have to again, fight that on appeal and all that kind of stuff. So it's good to put this one behind them. But overall, like, how much did they really lose? Because they continue to have huge market share. I think that they're the most watched cable news show, and one of the allegations is that Fox went ahead and published all of these false claims about election fraud because they were worried about Newsmax and taking market share from them. And so to keep this message out there about the election fraud, maintain their gigantic market share. And, so who knows? I mean, net might have been okay on this. They might have made so much money from publishing that false coverage and keeping Newsmax from taking its market share that, business-wise, might have worked out for them.
Yeah, it's interesting because as I was reading this, there was another, voting. As I was reading, SmartMatic spokesman is another technology that is also suing for defamation. And a spokesman for them said in a statement, Dominion's litigation exposed some of the misconduct and damage caused by Fox's disinformation campaign. SmartMatic will expose the rest. So, it does seem interesting that there could still be more to this, even though they've settled. Dominion's chief executive called the settlement historic. Fox has admitted telling lies about Dominion, but the Dominion legal team didn't answer questions about whether Fox will issue an apology. First Amendment lawyer Martin Garbus with the settlement, everybody wins. Fox goes its way. Dominion gets its cash. And then here's the quote I was looking for. Dominion's lawyers, Stephen Shackelford, said the settlement with Fox isn't the end of the efforts to push back against disinformation about the company. We're not done yet. We have some other people who have some accountability coming towards them. Do you think this is, Fox is out in the clear now, or do you think this is still going to cause some big damage for them?
Well, it's so the SmartMatic lawsuit is even bigger. I think they wanted over $2 billion. So that's unresolved. And now this settlement, shows that Fox is not going to take it to trial, that they'll maybe push it to the last minute, see if they can get favorable pretrial rulings, but they're ultimately going to tap out before it goes to the jury. So they're going to end up settling the SmartMatic case. Probably for similar numbers, if not more. What Dominion's saying is that they're going to go after other people. My guess is that's going to be News Nation, and there's another One America or something like that. I think
own.
Yeah, so I think that's probably who they're referring to. So yeah, they'll continue to be. Because the evidence that was developed in this Dominion versus Fox lawsuit showed that there was knowledge by Fox that they were spreading false claims. And even Ted Cruz, there was a recording that came out from a Fox producer that of a pre-interview with Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz was himself saying, like, look, you got to report facts. There has to be evidence. That's what you should be putting out there. And you can't just repeat an allegation as if it were true. So they knew that the information was false, and they put it out there anyway. Does it damage their brand? No. I mean, everyone knows what Fox stands for just as much as everyone knows what MSNBC stands for. So they're not going to probably lose any viewers, and no one's opinion is going to change at Fox because of this.
Do you think they're going to actually have to pay this money, or they're going to figure out a way to skirt that? Or do you think Fox is going to have to actually find that?
Oh, yeah, I think that they would pay it. And their last financial report said that they were sitting on over $4 billion in cash, Fox. So they can write that check. I don't know, if it's installments or whatever, but, I think, yeah, they're going to write the check.
God, it's so depressing. Any other final thought? I mean, this is a big deal, but I think a lot of people are disappointed that they didn't see this through to court to really stick it to Fox and prove that they aren't being honest about the news that they're reporting. Does this make, them look bad, Dominion bad in a way of like, yeah, you just took the cash and you didn't actually do the right thing?
Well, this is what we talk about as lawyers. You litigate principle or principles. And, so is it principle, the PAL, meaning money, or is it principles, like your values? And ultimately, people trade one for the other. And when, you got somebody offering you $787.5 million, do you roll the dice to saying like, hey, I'm willing to lose that and get nothing for the shot of putting all these people on the witness stand and exposing it? And hey, that's their case. That's their decision to make. I mean, personally, I would have loved to have seen that go forward, to seeing, justice work and how it turned out and what the testimony is. But, the thing is, it goes down to how mainstream media has degraded itself to a point where, like, who do we trust? Where are the trusted sources for news? And this, obviously, Fox is not one of them, or at least in this moment with this particular coverage, is not one of them. And it just validates what, like I say, most people already know or think about mainstream media.
Well said. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate you calling in. If you guys haven't already followed Christopher, go over on Twitter at @CA_divorce. Always a pleasure to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Andy.
Have a good one. So lucky we get him in here to get those thoughts. And thank you, Chris, for getting in here, even when you're driving to wherever you were driving to. Yeah, look, this is big news. Big news. All right, we got more to talk about here, including this guy who smashed the wrong... I'm just going to show you quick, and then we'll talk more about it, because I got some thoughts. Oh. Yeah, guys, this guy destroyed the wrong beer. I mean, technically Busch Light is part of Anheuser-Busch, but I think he's clearly upset about Bud Light.
What the fuck?
And yeah, he's proceeding to just destroy all of the packs. This is when everyone realizes he's saying it's for Bud Light. He's focusing on Busch Light because of Dylan Mulvaney. Security is then called, and he is arrested, as he should be. Moron. Look, say whatever you want about Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney, and I got thoughts. I've been...
Good job.
Good job, exactly.
They're quite the crowd.
Say what you want. This is not the way. This is not the way. This moron. Wrong beer. I mean, technically Anheuser-Busch it's part of Busch, but this isn't the way, guys. You could, if you want to be upset about this, and Dylan and Bud Light and boycott, do whatever you want. My God, Walmart already bought it, you idiots. You think Bud Light lost money on this?
He's in debt for life.
Like, you are going to have to pay it, you dum-dum. Not only is this dum-dum going to have to pay it, but Walmart buys the stock from these places already. They don't get to just suddenly return it. Oh, hey, Bud Light, you don't make money on these because a customer wrecked it. Walmart takes the hit. So are you boycotting Walmart, you dummy? This is the issue right now that I'm gonna go get arrested to throw out Bud Light cans. Again, whatever your stance on, I hope we can all agree this is not the way. But I do have more to say about Dylan. I've done my homework after you guys in the last video did, because a lot of you came in and were not happy about my take on Dylan. We're going to talk about that and a lot more here on the live portion. So if you want to see my thoughts and talk about both these issues more, please continue to watch on the live. However, if you're watching on the replay, hit that join button, pick a tier, become a member. We try to have all kinds of conversations civilly. And if you don't like it, well, we got to learn how to agree to disagree. But I do want to talk about some of this, and I want to talk more about this Fox News. So we got lots more to talk about here on Popcorn Planet. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. If you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. Click on these videos that appear later. Smash the like button, leave a comment, and all that jazz.